Welcome back to episode 25 of Where Clarets Walk. 20 minutes of Burnley chat. How are you? Hope you've had a good week. We've got Dan, Connor and Jordan to discuss four major issues. First off, Burnley fans are starting to fear that the playoffs is going to be their final position given all these draws. We're, of course, talking briefly about the Sunderland game and just how good Steve has been. And AI has predicted Burnley's away fixtures. How many points will the Clarets pick up on the road between now and the end of the season? Stay tuned for that. And at the end of the video, we're continuing our trawl through the worst ever Burnley 11. Last week, we put Will Norris in goal as the worst ever Burnley goalkeeper. This week, we're asking you and the team for the worst ever Burnley strikers. Stay to the end to find out who they say and drop a comment to let us know who should get that honour. We've got the full team back with us, fresh back, of course, from the Sunderland game. We're recording this before the midweek fixtures, so we don't know how that's gone. First off, great game for the neutral. Dan, have you ever been to a football game where two penalties have been saved in the dying minutes of the game?
No, it was a first for me. It was a strange one as well because we celebrated them like they were goals. It was the most exciting 0-0 I've seen in a long time. It was, utterly bizarre. I mean, everyone's discussed this. The first one was never a penalty. The second one is arguably it was a penalty. But yeah, to see such drama such late on and to see all the Mackhams crying, it was just amazing. It was brilliant. For us, it was great. For them, it was obviously terrible. But it was a good game, even though it was 0-0.
My favourite tweet from that game is in relation to Trafford's messing around with his gloves and his things. And Michael said, you know that Ashley Barnes is back. The Ashley Barnes influence has arrived, and we all know it. Jordan, any complaints with what Trafford did? I mean, if it's done to you, you're furious, aren't you, in that way? But it worked, didn't it?
If it happens to you, you are going to be furious. But if you're the one that's doing it, any team would. I think it was really good game management myself. It's karma. In my opinion, neither were penalties. I think it was a bit silly of Son. He should have stayed on his feet. But I still think if you weren't going to give Flemings, then you can't give Sirkins. I just think that, if it happens to you, you're devastated. But if you're the one doing it, then hallelujah. But yeah, two fantastic saves. And I don't think in my lifetime I've ever seen it quite like it.
You're not having that the second penalty is a penalty?
No, not even slightly. If you watch it by, it is literally a thing of it was Son's just a little bit. I don't know. Are you going to put it? Were you trying to impress? I don't know. And he's just played right into Sirkin's hands, I think. So I think we were going down as Son before Son slid, should I say? And I think Sirkin just had him on toast really and thought, oh, nice one for that Paul down. I'll go.
Okay. A shout out for James Trafford as well. We're not going to focus on him too much because we've spoken about him before, but yeah, Connor. Do you think it was a good save or bad penalties?
I thought the first one penalty could have been a little bit better. I thought it was relatively comfortable, really, for Trafford. Not going to take anything away from it. It's still penalty saves a save. I thought second penalty was good, right into the bottom corner. I thought that was a fantastic save, but the first one was a bit weak for me, really.
Okay. The first topic we wanted you all to think about is the one that has got some Burnley fans concerned, and I've seen for the first time, really, some real genuine worries. First of all, how just good Sunderland are, and for the second time, they look the better side against you. But Colin highlights it here, saying, effing bull SBS, it took 2 pen saves to save us. We are playoff fodder. And that was representative of a number of comments. Alan says 2 harsh penalties given Sunderland. Trafford and tactics worked for us both. But did we really do enough at home yet again? Another 0-0. Frustrating. So, Dan, are you playoff bound?
No, we're going up automatically. I've said this all along, I get why people are concerned. We are drawing an awful lot, and more concerningly is we're drawing against poorer teams. Weirdly, we seem to perform better against the better teams. But in saying, Sunderland are 4th, I think they were, and they could have gone, they certainly would have gone above us. I don't know if they'd have gone top with a win. So let's not forget the level that we were of our opposition. They're a good team. And we had chances. We had decent-ish chances. We could have won it. I appreciate, the ref was poor. He gave them an awful lot, but we've talked about refereeing decisions in the past. My opinion is you should take it away from the ref. We should be scoring more. So I do get people's concern. I genuinely do, that we could be in the playoffs. But even if we do, Parker always wins the playoffs, so there's no problem. But I think, we've got a run of games coming up now. I think Leeds are on the horizon in the not too distant future. But aside from them, we've got a run of games now where we can get, some points on the board. We can get, we've played an awful lot of bad away games and we've come out of them unscathed with 15 unbeaten or 14, something like that. I think we'll be fine. People are panicking for no reason. Scotty P, ask Jordan, ask Connor. We know where it's all
Scotty
at.
P.
Scotty P.
11 draws though, Jordan, compared to looking at Leeds who have drawn 8 and Sheffield United who have drawn 6. Plus Sheffield United seem to be now signing or seem close to the signing of Britain Diaz, who I'm sure was on your radar. You're not worried that Leeds and Sheffield United will be the two that are going up automatically?
Well, you could say there's a worry. Of course you can, because it looks like they're recruiting right. I think I've seen Sheffield linked with Burton Diaz and Tom Cannon. So they're recruiting right to put the foot in the right direction. And from what I've seen, I don't think we have. But on the side of, am I worried about a full standpoint of the season? No, we had a mass exodus in the summer. That'd have put any other team down, I think. But the biggest annoyance about the draws and people questioning the draws is I have to listen to Scott Parker in press conferences go, oh, well, there's bumps in the road and you got to hit them bumps. If I hear him say bumps in the road one more time, I'm personally going to go out and tarmac myself. But that's it. That's the only grievance I'll take with that.
Okay. Let's focus on more positives in the game. Steve, then, Connor. Or Stev, is his name. How good is he?
He's an absolute brick wall. Honest to God, he's so good. When Trafford came out making a right mess of it, I can't remember, was it Isidore that came through or something? And Steve just comfortably, I mean, it's not a problem for him, is it really? Just went, slid in, got it, and back up the pitch we go. And I absolutely love him to bits, really.
So do the fan base. Oh, it's not that one. I wanted a different one. No, I wanted a different one. There we go. That's the one I want. Best defender in the league by a huge margin. No one reads the game as good as our Steve. Dan, do you agree? I can't. It's a terrible nickname, but I get it.
Yeah, I think it harks back to his reveal video. It was some hamster shouting Steve. But he is a level. He's arguably, he's wasted in this league. I think he is Premier League quality. He's top level European League, whichever one you want to put him in. He is that level. And I think him and also Egan Riley to an extent as well. But he just reads the game so well. He marshals players out of play. His tacklings, he barely gives a foul away. I don't know if he's been booked this season. If he has, it's not often. He is another level. And I think he is a top player. And we're lucky to have him. Whether we keep him this window, I think we will. Whether we keep him in January, if we don't go up, I think we'll probably lose him, sadly. But whilst he's here, we should enjoy him.
Okay. Jordan?
No, I carry on what Dan said there. But I do think he's going in the summer window only because a team like Burnley, and it hurts me to say being a lifelong, but a team like Burnley cannot have a player like Esteve. It's just end of story, and I think we'll be cherry picked. So, like Dan said, just enjoy him while he's here. He's probably the best defender I've ever seen pull on the Burnley shirt. How old is he? 21, 22? And he looks like he's playing
he's young, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's playing like he's 28-year-old and he's been around the game for years and he's in his dirt prime. So it's almost frightening to see what his ceiling is. I'm nailed on. He's going to be a starting French international because that boy's going places.
Yeah, good shouts. A couple more. Just Connor Joe says sign a striker and 3 wingers. I can't stand Brownhill playing in the number 10 role. Couple more like this as well. Do you agree?
I think we should steady on now with the amount of wingers we've got. I think we've got way too many. But we definitely need a striker. We brought Barnes in as the experienced signing, you could say, and John Joe Shelby when that happens. But I think now we need to look for a young striker. I was thinking of that Richard Coney for Wickham, but it looks like he's going Luton now. Someone like him who we're not going to rely on him scoring every week, but it's a young prospect at the end of the day.
Yeah. Okay. What about this Brownhill in the 10 comment, Dan?
I don't think Brownhill's that's his position. I'm the wrong person to ask. I don't think Brownhill's a great player. I know that the stats and people will defend him to the hilt. I'm on my own in this, or I'm in the small minority. I don't think he plays as a 10. He's arguably a better in centre mid. Saying that, I know the stats will say he's our top goal scorer, he's X, Y, and Z. He didn't have a good game on Friday, and I don't think he is the solution to us. And I think certainly if we're planning on going into the Premier League, I think when we dropped him last season, again, it's difficult to blame it and pin it on him, but we started playing a lot better. I know I'm wrong on this, and people tell me this, but he's not the man for me. And he shouldn't be playing in that position. If we're going to play him centre mid, that's where he's best at. But I wouldn't have him in the team. But I appreciate controversial. People will say, you know what you're talking about, but that's just my opinion.
Okay, it's all very valid. And before we move on, if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. We're trying to hit our target. We're so nearly there. Thank you for all the love we've had on it. We enjoy having this weekly chat. And if you're a Burnley fan that want to come and join us, you can email us using the address in the bottom, and you can be here next week live with this lot. I'm not selling that very well, but they are a friendly bunch. I promise
We'll try.
Yeah. We've asked AI to predict the rest of Burnley's fixtures away from home, which is of course where you've struggled a little bit in terms of all these draws. It's predicted that you will win 5 of the remaining, draw 3 of them, and only lose to QPR the last day on the last away game of the season. So. Draws at Portsmouth, Preston, and Watford, and the rest of them are wins. Would you take that, Jordan? I mean, actually, first of all, look at your away list there. There's nothing to be worried about at all, is there? There's no big hitters at all. You've got a really good average. Look at the positions: 24, 22, 16, 20, 13, 14, 19th. It's not only Watford is a dodgy one, but you could be up by then.
Well, the vast majority of it looks fantastic, and I will take that now. I can't believe the AI's had our pants down with QPR. It's referring him back to the last championship season, isn't it? Where
That's right, yeah, when they did you, yeah.
When we were steamrolling well, we did that on purpose, because then the week after we won the league at Ewood. We all know that as a fan base. But yeah, no, I think this... But again, it's like I said last time we spoke about AI. It does look beautiful on paper. Yeah, that looks fantastic. But we have a serious problem with making a meal out of games that we shouldn't make a meal out of. So could there be some banana skins potentially? How are Plymouth going to play now they've sacked Wayne Rooney? They are a bit dead and buried, but are they just going to come with nothing to lose and come at us? Portsmouth, that always worries me, because I know they're sitting at the bottom, but that's a team that every time I've seen them don't give up. It's a funny one. But I'd take that from you now.
Okay. Connor, you take 18 points out of whatever it is, 30, is it? 27?
We could certainly go for at least a draw against QPR. Cannot see us losing that one bit, but I'd take it. It's better than nothing in it, really. Okay.
All right, then. Thank you very much for that. We're also putting together the world's worst Burnley side that we've ever seen in the championship era. Last week, we asked them to give us goalkeepers, and they very happily gave us, well, I think it was Jordan that gave us Will Norris, which our fan base went with. Let's focus on strikers, though. Dan, we promised you could go first this week, so what have you got for us?
If you're going in the championship era, then I've got a couple. If we're going all time, I've got a list. But in the championship era, I'm going to give you 2. Gifted Noel Williams is one. That was given to me by a friend of mine. He said that he was terrible, and I can't disagree with that. The other one, and it's going to be controversial, is this, but I thought he were crap. He's a guy called Chris Iwelumo. Now, he does a lot of punditry now, and I know that people are going to say, well, he scored 4 against Preston. That's fair enough, but he scored 11 in 45 games, and 4 of them were against Preston, all right? So I don't think he were very, very good. There's a whole raft of players you could pick from. I'm sure that the other boys have got more than that, but those are my 2 that I'd put forward.
Okay. Connor?
I've gone with 2 here. I've gone with Patrick Bamford, crybaby.
You're on the list.
And I've gone with Marvin Sordell, 1
Oh,
goal in
he's tough.
21 appearances. What are you going to say? What are you going to say?
Both
Yeah,
of them.
Marvin Sordell.
Now I'm gonna have to change my mind. I did have a few, and I do agree. Bamford is an absolute crybaby. Do you know he turned up to his signing on with his mum and dad? A fully grown man turned up with his mum and dad. Grow up, Patrick. Right, I'm gonna have to change. Right, on the fly, then I'll give Yellow Vossen because he turned up, did about a week, and then we never saw him again. And who else can I just stick in there? Like, no, do you know what? I am just sticking with Patrick Bamford. The hatred I feel for that man, it's just something. And every time I say, he's a prospect. Oh, he's fantastic. He's not. He's a baby who can't hack it in the Premier League and cries when Sean Dye shouts at him. End of story.
Brilliant, as always. Let us know in the comments who they've missed, and out of that lot, who you would like to see stickers in there. Next week, we're talking about the worst ever defenders. So let us know. We'll get you thinking up on for that back line as we nearly complete our team, and also in a couple of weeks, we're looking for the worst ever manager that Burnley have had. So
I've got that as well.
Right. Enjoy your.
My hammies are crying. Hang on, sorry, there we are.
Oh,
Nice.
I mean, come on. I mean, what? His shoelace was undone, and then his hammies were crying. I mean,
difficult being a goalkeeper, Mark. You know how it is.
Hey, Mark, you know what they say? It comes in threes. It was his hammies, his gloves, and his shoelaces. So I'll have nothing else said.
What a shame. Hey, it worked. You can't knock him, can you? And the videos of the Sunderland fans are amazing. Good old Friday night contest. And I do like your ground is so good because you've got proper away fans next to the home fans, haven't you? And in that end, like with like a fag paper between them. None of this nonsense where you put them up in the gods. So yeah, good old.
Well, I saw a meme, and it was this Sunderland fan when they got the penalty, and he's giving it that.
Yeah.
And then when it's saved, and he sat there like that with no coat on, and it said, "Life hits you fast."
That's right. Yeah. Never celebrate a penalty award.
Well, he happens to share my colouring, and he gets a load of abuse. And they focus heavily on his hair colouring. And have you seen that one? They celebrate it like it's a goal, and then they celebrate the second one like it's a goal. Oh, it's just. I mean, I've watched it many times.
I have.
Brilliant. Right. Enjoy your trip to Plymouth if any of you are going to there on a Wednesday night. And then next week we'll be, of course, talking about the big one as Leeds are in town. So join us for that next week. See you then. Have a great week, and see you in 7 days' time. Steve.
Thank you very much.